Let's see if we can break Zuramat in Standard Hearthstone with Zuramat Maloriak Warlock. Now, the idea behind this deck is we are going to be using Maloriak in combination with Welcome Home and Zuramat's Prison in order to discard 2 Briar Spawn Drakes. This will summon 2 of them to your board, and if you have a lease location with a copy, you can get up to 4 if you have enough space on the board. This should allow you to OTK most opponents since you'll be chipping away at their HP a tiny bit using things like Hellfire and other really sticky minions such as Cranium or Stooge in the early game. Now, before we get into the Mulligan guide of the list, it is worth mentioning this deck is not great. Do not craft this deck. But if you have all the cards in this list and you want to have some fun just messing around with Zuramat or Maloriak, then this one will be great for you to try out. But now for the Mulligan guide, you're going to be looking for any of your early game minions. This is going to be Elise, Stooge, or Cranium. These will allow you to either get a wall between your opponent or just allow you to set up for later turns thanks to Elise's location. Then you're going to be looking for removal tools such as Hellfire or draw power cards such as Catacombs / Ancient of Yore. Finally, Zuramat's Prison is pretty good to keep too. Now with all being said, let's look at some games. Let's keep Shadow Rounds and Hellfire. Honestly, why are we allergic to just giving Warlock a decent removal tool? Why don't we just make Shadow Rounds a 3-mana card that does 3 damage instead of a 2-mana card that does 2 damage? Because how many, 2 HP, mini... 3 is the break point for a lot of, early game things. Look, it's oh, yeah... You can't remove, and then also untargetable stuff. Maybe it's just me. Actually, no, that would be a little unfair. I was gonna suggest if a card says target an enemy minion, but there isn't any minions that can be targeted, but there are minions on board, just make it automatically target the untargetable minion. This is a little bit of a waste, but it keeps us alive. I don't even know what we do in this scenario. We need exactly tentacles, I guess. But it doesn't even wipe out the board. It just gets them extremely low. If we had 1 more mana, we could do Shadow Rounds, but we don't, so... We aren't dead because of this, but it just feels bad. It just, Okay. Shadow Rounds, get rid of both of them. I want... Cranium actually works. I'm going to be a real headache. And then we're going to make this go dormant for 2 more turns. Because I always forget you can do stuff like this. Okay, that might keep me in the game. We must band together, united for Dalaran. Well, we have the coin. Actually, we don't even need the coin, right? We can do this. I'm trying to save the annihilation until we could draw into Scrooge here. Because eventually they'll run out of, like, ways to summon a bunch of just dudes, right? On each individual turn. Next turn we can do Prison Great. Okay. Slam this down. I almost want to put this back to sleep. I think it's this. Slam down the coin. And then we need... Oh, we should have put the Xavius to sleep because they wouldn't get instant advantage and I can't do anything about it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay, now we annihilate. There's no reason not to, right? I mean, that is kind of a reason not to, but... Enjoy dealing with the 9/9 that you'll probably instantly have some type of resource to deal with it. Part of me is like, that's fine. Actually, no, is that fine? I think it is. There's Shaldrasil.
I remember this place well.
Going for a 5. Armor. I really want to go for a copy. Because it'll... We can go for a copy here. And it's 2 instead of 1 wall. We have 9 cards left in deck. Basically, we just have to survive 2 turns. I mean, I don't mind you keep freezing out my board if it just lets me live. There's Welcome Home. Let's return this to the hand.
Is there trouble?
And just hope this is enough to keep me in the game. What we really, really need here is exactly... not death here. We need to draw into the other Drake. I guess we don't technically need to draw into the other Drake, but it would be really nice. Because we can do... Shit. It's cause space issues, isn't it? Actually, no, it won't cause space issues. Because we get 2 of these. And then... This will work. That should be game? Unless I did the math there wrong? I did the math there wrong. I don't know what they have to come back from this, though. I guess if they heal above... Oh, buddy, old pal. Oh, buddy, old pal. I hate to tell you this, but... if we can draw into exactly this, welcome home. We can welcome home the victory of this game with our win condition. We did it! It only took an hour, well, 2 hours, but we did it! Okay, time for a game against Paladin. Let's see what our opponent got in store for us today. Okay, so little insider information. Since this is not the initial version, one of the first games that I played with this deck was versus someone using Tranquil Treant as their target for Beatrix, which I thought was an interesting angle, but I didn't think it was meta relevant enough for me to include in the video. And the game wasn't that great. The person just had... What was it? They slammed down Farok. That was their big play. I think it might be a cool idea. Maybe it's a greedy version of the deck that I could maybe try out in the nearby future. Let me know if that would interest y'all. I'm also thinking about doing like a... I know I said like in a previous video that I don't understand why someone would use Dirty Rat in Beatrix, but given how popular Rogue is right now, maybe that would be not a bad idea either. You just have to find a way to then back up whatever you drag out of your opponent's, or get rid of whatever you drag out of your opponent's hand, which might be a little bit of a problem. Just a tiny bit. There's a lot of different angles that you can take Beatrix. And I don't know when I'm going to get to my list. I also think I prefer to do Infinite Paladin before I do a Beatrix list, maybe. I don't know. Let me know which one you'd be more interested in. I think the next video on the channel is going to be Priest, and then following Priest, it'll be another Hunter list, and then probably another Zuramat list. One of my mutuals on Twitter made a really fun Zuramat Warrior list, and I think that would be really cool to showcase. So I think we will do it, just not yet. And I think it, honestly speaking, is, even though it's a bigger meme list than this, I think it actually has a higher win rate, which is saying something. But once you see that list, you'll know exactly why I'm like, this is a bigger meme list. I'll give you a hint. Mayor Noggin Fogger is in it, so.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. Let's get rid of as many minions as humanly possible so I don't have to deal with that later.
You wanna fight? Start with me.
Okay. We do have that tentacle in hand, which is going to be good.
Reporting for duty.
Got rid of the board. Put a Stooge out on the board too. Okay.
Dalaran, hear me.
I mean, we got the tentacle again, right? We could just nuke the board. I mean, what's it at the bottom of the deck? And then we're in a pretty good position, right?
Reporting for duty.
I mean, that's an RY. We can see what... I mean, why not, right? Why not? Just have an AoE for every turn. They slam down a board, we nuke the board. Next turn, they slam down a wide board. We slam down Annihilation. We annihilate the board again.
I'll show you how it's done.
The bruisers have
Okay,
a
there's
few
Bruiser.
questions.
Surprise! It's cool.
The bruisers have a few questions.
I mean, Annihilation as a top deck is pretty nice. Get the two 9/9s out of the deck. Hopefully they don't have an answer to that.
Disturb the times.
Put a little bit of a wall between us and them. Catacombs is pretty nice. We can put down Zuramat, and then we can do Elise going for a 5-cost location. Hopefully, maybe a copy. Armor and discover a spell, that's okay.
Looking back, no
And then we'll just sit on the Zuramat for now. So we need the Maloriak, basically.
Dares disturb the times.
That kind of hurts, but we're still at 27 HP. So it's not like we're super low. We also have the other Annihilations, even if they go wide. Oh, they don't have any more minions in their deck. That's actually kind of hilarious. We do need them to have some type of minion for combo. We are missing... Wow. We're missing Welcome Home, and we're missing the other Drake. If we top deck the other one or the other, we probably do combo. Actually, no, we don't do combo unless they slam down 2 minions, I guess.
Reporting for duty.
That's the second minion. We didn't get either of them. We can do Terror Run just to armor up and survive. Ooh. Do I want to destroy a minion, or do I want to heal myself? Or do I want to do Confinement? I'm really tempted to do... I think this is just the best play. I know it's board space, we're going to be a little bit screwed, and we're giving them a little bit of advantage, but... There's the Welcome Home, okay. So we should be guaranteed the combo next turn. Okay, Truth Seeker. I mean, they probably got it randomly generated, right? Now, the big statted minion is probably will end up being a problem. Alignment. Okay, never mind. We get rid of their AoE. We do Shelter Seal. We hope for... Actually, exactly those two. We can shuffle the AoE back into their deck. Just because it's like a minimum. Not that big of a deal. And then we get the other Confinement. Now I just gotta hope they slam down an our minion or they use their hero power. Because they don't really know what we're up to. I don't think anyone else in their right mind would try a combo like this. Okay, there's Giblin. Wow, they actually had that many auras still left in their deck. Okay. We get Maloriak out of our hand, which gives us our Drake back. We discard one Drake. We welcome home the other one. We get a random discover spell. Ooh. Probably Spirit Bomb to get rid of the Divine Shield, just in case. We get the other Drake on the board. This isn't going to be lethal this turn, but it's going to be pretty close, and they basically out of resources. So, let's get attacking. What a nightmare of a combo for our opponent to deal with. This is where they have equality and consecration, and then I just cry. But, you know. Hopefully they don't, right? Eh? You see the writing on the wall, buddy? Oh, pal. This is just a game. Pass it back so I can smack into you with the big Drake. I guess not. Now that we're through the game, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, did we manage to break Zuramat in Standard Hearthstone? No, we did not. But I did have a lot of fun with this deck. This was probably the 4th iteration of Zuramat Warlock that I had. The initial 3 didn't work how I actually wanted it to work. I did have someone suggest that I would try Gemstone Thrower in the list to discount Twisting Nether for one of the previous versions, but that'll be a deck for a later day. Right now, I think this is probably the best version of Zuramat Warlock that you're probably going to get, but it is still not a deck that I would recommend you all craft. But before we end the video, special thanks to our channel members of Daniel Nascimento and Ruben. If you want to help the channel a little bit more, you can always join one of the 3 membership tiers. If you can't afford to do that, there's always leaving a like, commenting, subscribing, turning on notifications, using the new hype button, checking out the Twitch channel. They all help me out equally. But until next time,